Moscow had grown rich and allied itself with old adversaries. Together, the Rus allies were ready to challenge the dominance of the Mongols and stopped paying them tribute. On the banks of the River Don, Dmitry would stake his life on being the first Rus leader to defeat the horde in battle. Arriving at Kulikovo, Prince Dmitry and his army would rendezvous with allied forces from all principalities loyal to Moscow. Together, they would challenge more than a century of Mongol dominance. Before the battle, Dmitry would recruit soldiers from nearby villages. He would also ride to his allies, who were awaiting their battle orders.
Время действовать! Идти надо по скору, таков наказ есть. Приготовляйтесь! Восстанете, воины! Поведу вы! Слушайте меня, воины!
The villagers pledged all the soldiers they could spare, strengthening Dmitry's position against the horde.
Долг несть Готовы будете, воины! Выступайте доблестно, воины! Приготовляйтесь и наказы исполняйте! Восстанете, воины! Идти надо по скору, таков наказ есть. Готов, если служите, скачу напред. Повинуюсь, направляюсь.
Dmitry delivered the battle orders to his allies. They would take up position on the Smolka river fords and ready themselves for the enemy's arrival. With a loyal army assembled, Dmitry began the march north to meet the enemy in battle.
Выступайте доблестно, воины! Поведу вы! Поведу вы! Восстанете, воине! Выступайте доблестно, воине! Сейчас. Идти надо по скору. Таков наказ есть. Восстанете, воине! Живу службы ради. Идти надо по скору. Таков наказ есть. Поведу вы. Выступайте доблестно, воине.
The Rus discovered a new settlement, which pledged its soldiers to Moscow's cause.
Какой наказ есть? Готовы будете, воине! Поведу вы.
Dmitri would oversee the battle with his own detachment of fighters, moving to support any ford crossing that seemed at risk of being overwhelmed. As Mongol war drums sounded through the fog, Dmitri and his men steeled themselves for the arrival of the horde.
Восстанете, воины!
The Rus were emboldened by this first small victory and stood firm on the Smolka River, ready for the enemy's next attack.
Держать крепость во что бы то ни стало! Исполнено будет.
Civilians from the province, although unable to fight, vowed to construct defences for Dmitry should he need to fall back from the northern forts. Dmitry's allied villagers had finished constructing a line of defences, which Dmitry could choose to fall back to if he lost the forts.
Выступайте доблестно, воине! Долг несть бремя. Сейчас. Рад служить. Идти надобно поскору. Таков наказ есть. Служите рад, если. Поскору, таков наказ есть.
Dmitry and his Rus allies held the fords and eliminated the Mongol vanguard. While the enemy regrouped after the initial skirmish, the prince ordered the Rus to fall back to the hilltop defences behind them. As they retreated, nearby Rus provinces mustered additional forces to Dmitry's side.
Восстанете, воине! Приготовляйтесь на поведу вы! Время действовать! Готовы будете, воине! Приготовляйтесь, воине! Я живу ради служения. Приготовляйтесь наказы исполнять. Приготовляйтесь наказы исполнять.
In planning to face the horde, Dmitri had called upon a cavalry detachment to stage an ambush. He received word that his reinforcements had begun to arrive and bided his time for the right moment to call them to battle.
Выступайте доблестно, воине! Выступайте доблестно, воине!
Куда направите? Исполнено будет. Добро есть.
Приготовляйтесь, воине! Готовы будете, воине!
The two great armies clashed in the fog, but Dmitri's men stood firm.
Позаратай, в путь идти надобно. Позаратай, готови наступать. Флага есть.
With the terror of the horde on their doorstep, Rus villagers once again rushed to construct more defenses, this time on the banks of the Don River.
Восстанете, воине! Послушание есть добродетель. Исполнено!
Позаратай, наступаем. Добро есть. Варевне готов. Позаратай, наказы, повинуюся.
Латницы смели готовятся! Приготовляйтесь, наказы исполняйте! Приготовляйтесь, наказы исполняйте!
Наказы у нас.
Исполнено будет! Поведу вы! Послушание есть добродетель. Готовы будете, воине!
The Mongol numbers dwindled as the Rus struck down their ranks. Seeking an even stronger position, Dmitri ordered his forces to fall back to the Don River, where his allies had constructed new defenses.
Приготовляйтесь, воине!
As the Rus fell back, a fresh detachment of reinforcements joined the fight. In desperation, Dmitri called in the cavalry force, even though they were not yet at full strength.
Идти надобно поскору, таков наказ есть. Повинуюсь с честью. Хорошо. Готовы будете, воины. Приготовляйтесь и наказы исполняйте.
With their backs to the River Don, the Rus held their ground in a last stand against their ferocious enemy.
Идти надо поскору, таков наказ есть.
In the last gasps of the desperate battle, the Rus would not back down. It would be victory or death.
Поведу вы.
For the first time in over 100 years of subjugation, the armies of the Rus defeated the Mongols in battle. For 3 days and nights, Prince Dmitri buried the fallen in the fields of Kulikovo. He became known as Donskoy, the victor at the River Don. On the morning of September 8, 1380, at Kulikovo, the Moscow-led Rus army defeated the Mongols for the first time. One of the key battles of the medieval age, it was a transformative event in the rise of Moscow as the future capital of Russia. For the first time, rival principalities had joined Moscow to fight a common enemy. Now, many Rus principalities began to see themselves as one. Future leaders of Moscow would draw on the memory of this battle to claim their supreme political position in Russia. Moscow's Grand Prince, Dmitry Ivanovich, had led the Rus principalities to victory over the Mongols, reinforcing his dominance. But for the Mongols' leadership, the defeat at the Battle of Kulikovo was disastrous. The ruler of their Golden Horde was overthrown by a descendant of Genghis Khan. His name was Toktamish. And Toktamish was not going to let the treacherous Moscow-led Rus get away with rebellion. 2 years after their defeat at Kulikovo, Toktamish's Golden Horde set out to attack Moscow. The city had not felt the wrath of the Mongols for more than a century. That was about to change.